What's up, everyone? Welcome to Target Focus Life. We have today the Breda Icaro 20, which is like the little sister to the B3.5SM, which we reviewed not too long ago. We really enjoyed that gun. Now we have the Icaro 20 from Breda. We're gonna be checking it out with a detailed and in-depth review. So let's just jump right in. This is a waterfowl gun. Could be a general target and hunting gun as well, but this is what Breda has to say about the Icaro 20. The Breda Icaro 20 is the ultimate inertia-driven shotgun crafted for the serious waterfowl hunter who demands a reliable and high-performing firearm in the most challenging conditions. From the frigid marshes of northern United States, that's here, to the flooded timber of Mississippi Flyway, this iconic Breda is the go-to choice for waterfowlers who expect nothing but the best. At the heart of this exceptional shotgun is the precision drilled barrel forged from Breda's proprietary Accio. Oh, I just butchered that. I don't know how you say that. A-C-C-I-A-I-O.
Acciaio.
Steel. It's a type of steel, okay? This specifically engineered steel alloy offers subtle elasticity that enhances barrel harmonics and minimizes expansion during intense shooting sessions like today. Breda drilled barrels are renowned for their flat shooting accuracy, improved shot velocity, and dense patterns, ensuring that every shot counts when targeting fast-flying waterfowl. All right, so intended use, waterfowl, MSRP, $2,100. So expensive Italian-made shotgun. It's gonna be right up there in price with some of the other Italian-made semi-autos. This is in 20, only comes in 20. If you want bigger than 20, if you want a 12 gauge, I think you go to the B3.5SM. There might be some other options in there. I don't have a lot of experience with Breda. They are just now, again, being imported into the United States. They were imported a little while ago, then it stopped. Someone else picked them up and is now importing them. So I'm excited to shoot more and more of these Breda shotguns because the one I have shot, I really liked. And we got another one back in the safe room we'll be reviewing in the near future. So if you like these guns, if you'd like to learn about guns, like and subscribe to the channel. Inertia gun, in fact, we mentioned this in the last Breda gun we did. The Breda company you might think is another knockoff of Benelli. It's got the similar bolt. In fact, when we take it apart, you're gonna say that's a lot like Ethos, how the top part of the receiver comes off. Breda actually was an owner, a part owner of Benelli, and came up with the design for the inertia rotating bolt head. So who took it from who? I don't know how that works. Don't really care at the end of the day. I'm just here to talk about, is this a great shotgun? Is it one that you should consider? This shotgun is available in 26 or 28-inch barrels. We have the 28-inch barrel, 6 pounds, very light shotgun. It is a 20 gauge, of course, so it's not gonna be super heavy. Let's see how accurate that is. I don't know if they weighed the 28-inch barrel or 26, but we're getting 6 pounds, 4 ounces. Let's take a peek at the trigger pull. They actually put the trigger pull weight on the website, which is where I get a lot of this information. They said the trigger pull weight is 5.5 to 5.9 pounds. Manufacturers might test that differently than we do, but let's see what we get. Before I pull, let's just see here. I don't think so. I don't think it's that light. I've been wrong before, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or not, we shall see. 6 pounds, 12 ounces. 6 pounds, 11 ounces. So we've had two 6 pounds, 11, 6 pounds, 12. 6 pounds, 3 ounces. Wow, we had some variation there. Pretty much what we're seeing is it's a 6 pound trigger, 6 pounds plus. I'm not saying that's terrible. I'm just saying that's not what they advertised. Let's look at the length of pull here quick. Looks like we're 14 1/4 on the length of pull. Now I'm pretty sure that the butt pad snaps off, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that snaps off. I believe you can buy aftermarket pads to change the length of pull, or you can get a Falcon Strike. They do make an adapter if you're looking to reduce recoil. In the box, we also do have, yes, shims that come with it. Only looks like we got 2 shims, so some limited options on our drop at the comb, which is 1 inch, about 9/16, just over 1.5 inches. And at the heel, 2 3/16. 3/4 inch of drop. Lastly, with specs, the choke tubes, it does come with 5 choke tubes, actually. 5 flush mounted choke tubes. Their website says that it comes with a cylinder, improved cylinder mod, light mod, or improved mod, improved mod, and a full. But I got 4 chokes in here. There's 1 in the gun. Plus, I got a bonus choke in there, a full. These are the Cryo Plus choke system, same as you're gonna find in a Benelli. Let's take a look at the ergonomics of this gun. We already talked about the butt pad that pops off, a little bit of squish to it, not a whole lot. Grip is, for a 20 gauge, actually kind of meaty. You expect more of a slender grip. I'm not saying this is bad. It fills your hand nicely. I'm hitting a little bit of the receiver here, but if you had bigger, longer fingers, you might not. The grip feels good. The forend, very similar to what you're gonna find on the Benellis. It's actually got the stippling, just kind of like the Benellis as well. The forend feels really good. There's a slight contour there, so whether you're holding your hand here or here, it kind of works. Crossbolt safety on the rear, kind of a triangular crossbolt safety. Bolt release is slightly oversized. Not gigantic, slightly oversized, but really easy just to get your finger on it. I like that significantly better than a lot of the bolt releases that are big and gaudy or small, and you got to really have centralized pressure in one spot. This allows you to get just the edge of it with your finger, and you can just kind of just flick it like that. You got to be intentional. Bolt handle, look at that. Nice big bolt handle, easy to operate. I like that. Their trigger guard is machined out of aluminum. No plastic here in the trigger guard. That's really cool. The loading port area is milled out slightly. We got a nice red follower in there. Flat rib, vented rib, of course, as most are, but flat off the receiver. It's actually cut out on the top of the receiver. There's a groove in the top of the receiver that comes right onto the rib. So it's like you're looking through a channel. I've shot a little over a box of ammo through this so far before the review started, and my tendency was to lift my head. Now that could be because the gun doesn't fit me, but I'm used to seeing more rib, just a little bit of rib, so I'm lifting my head, just a function of getting used to the gun, not a big deal. Medium-sized orange or red fiber on front. I like what I'm seeing. One thing I'm seeing, or more so, should I say, feeling, that you probably can't see, is the texture of this gun. They have a soft touch texture to it, or coating. So when it's in your hands, it's not like that hard composite or plastic feel. Like it feels really good in your hands, like you just got a firm grip. It's not gonna go sliding out when you shoot it. Same thing with the other Breda we reviewed. Really like that. I don't know how it holds up over time. If you have a lot of experience with this gun and shot it a whole bunch, or any of the Bredas with this soft touch, that's what I'm calling it. It's not necessarily what they call it, but this coating, go to the TFL community or put it in the comments down below and let us know how it has held up over time. All right, that's enough of the ergonomics. Let's look at recoil and reliability. That's one thing I'm curious about. Sub-gauges and inertia shotguns are not always the most reliable. Like I said, we have shot a box of this so far through this of target loads, and we found something rather interesting. We have Top Gun target loads, 7/8 ounce, 1,210 feet per second. I have one box here that is a little bit older, maybe a couple years, stored inside, climate controlled, but this is something I have found over my years of shooting. Ammo degrades over time. Or light target loads. That's when you're going to notice it. Not so much in the hotter loads, but if I take this gun up with that box of ammo that's been in my safe room for several years, climate controlled, did not pull the shell out. Let's shoot another one. Tried to pull the shell out, but got stuck. And then one more. Again, failure to extract. Now this is this year's ammo. This is the same exact ammo. Only difference is 7.5 shot versus 8 shot. That would make no difference in how well it cycles. Let's see if this works any better. Ooh. Okay, we got a few to cycle there. That was the same exact thing I noticed with the Breda B3.5SM, is that it took a while to break in. And this is proving to be no different. I love how this gun recoils, but I am not liking how this gun is not cycling. And throughout this review, we'll continue to put more rounds through it. If anything changes, we will come back to this. Let's see what it's like when we go to the Federal Speed Shock. These are 3/4 ounce, a little hotter loads, 1,425 feet per second. This is an option if you were going to be duck hunting. You might use these. Ooh, this gun shoots nice. I love how this gun handles. And it's cycling the waterfowl loads. When we break this gun down, we'll take a look, make sure nothing else is going on that we notice. Does not shoot waterfowl loads from the hip, but it cycles it from the shoulder just fine. All right, let's move on from recoil and reliability, because all I gotta say about that, recoil, like it a lot. That's one thing we were impressed with the other Breda we reviewed. Reliability, we're having issues. We will stick with it. We will shoot more off camera before we get to the end of this review, and we'll circle back on that, so stay tuned. All right, it's time to break this down. Let me take the ears out. By the way, if you're ever curious on what I'm using for ears, for eyes, choke tubes, any of that stuff, it is down in the description. Like these ears a whole lot. I think we got a discount code too. Same thing for the ESS ballistic glasses that we wear. Let's break this gun down. We are unloaded. 4-end cap. I like that 4-end cap. We'll close the bolt. The barrel and the 4-end come off together. That simple. Bolt handle out. Oh, I like that. And then this is where it's a little unique. I wouldn't say unique. It's like another shotgun on the market, so it can't be that unique, right? Normally that doesn't come out that hard. That's the top of the receiver. Then the bolt slides right out. Then we're just left with the trigger group. We can choose to pop that out with one pin. Breda makes good quality stuff from what I've seen. The drilled barrels, I like that. The soft touch finish. Let's pop this out because their trigger group is out of machined aluminum. I believe there's no plastic. Don't quote me on that, but I believe there's no plastic in there. It can be a little bit tricky to get these out. Just got to slide it out that way. Yeah, fully machined trigger group, which looks to be great quality. I'm just making sure I'm not seeing anything that looks out of place as far as why it's not shooting the way it should. We could take off the stock and look at the recoil spring in there. It's a brand new gun. It should be fine. It feels fine. Let's put it back together. We'll shoot a little bit more. Quality-wise, though, really, really like it. Top-notch quality gun. But what does that mean if it doesn't cycle all that well? You might ask. I don't know, I might tell you. We're gonna turn the cameras off, shoot a bunch more, check into this, be right back. So we turned the camera off and decided to get playing with this gun, put more rounds through it, trying to figure out why it was not cycling target loads reliably. After all, I had really enjoyed the experience with this gun. There was so much to like, but I was a little bit frustrated on the target load side of things. So we shot, and we shot, and we shot, and we still had the issue. I grabbed another inertia gun, and I put a trigger scale on it, and I pulled the bolt back, and I discovered there was more pull weight on this bolt than on the other inertia gun that I knew cycled target loads very well. I got into taking the stock off and playing with the recoil spring, and I noticed the recoil spring was longer and tighter than the other inertia gun. So then what I did is I actually swapped recoil springs from the other inertia gun, put it in here, and it worked flawlessly. And I put the trigger scale on there, pulled the bolt back, and it was significantly less pull weight. So that made a lot of sense. A lighter spring, you're gonna cycle target loads better. But there's probably a drawback as well. So I reached out to Breda and I said, hey, this is not cycling target loads reliably. Here's the issues I'm having. Here's the testing that I've done so far. Swapped up the springs, told them the whole story. And Breda's response was, this shotgun is tuned for waterfowl hunters. It has a tighter spring in it, and that's on purpose. With their testing, the tighter recoil spring has led to more reliable cycling with waterfowl loads, especially in cold, icy, wet conditions. And that makes sense to me. You get out hunting, it's cold, it's frosty, whatever, it's gonna require a little bit more spring tension to put that bolt fully back into battery. So what Breda said is, hey, if you want this to shoot target loads, you can send it back in. we can give it a tune-up. Essentially, they're gonna add a lighter recoil spring, but there's a trade-off there. So curious for you guys that would be interested in this gun. Do you want it tuned specifically for waterfowl, where you're gonna get the best performance in waterfowl, or do you want a little bit more just well-rounded performance, where you're willing to give up some of that waterfowl hunting condition performance so you can shoot target loads? Either way, Breda says you have that option. I like that. I have no problems with this not cycling target loads for the reason that they really wanted to make it specific to waterfowl. And that gives me some comfort because I really loved this gun. I love the way it handles. I love how it handles the recoil. The ergonomics are great. It feels great in the hands, and it was so much fun to shoot. And I think it's a dynamite sub-gauge waterfowl shotgun. But just in full disclosure, that's the experience that we had. That's why it wasn't cycling target loads. And that's part of the reason we do these reviews, so you know what you're getting into. So if you're looking for a dynamite sub-gauge waterfowl shotgun, I really like this gun. If you're looking for an overall shooter 20 gauge that you could hunt some ducks and shoot some targets with, you might need to get it tuned up. But overall, very impressed with what Breda is putting out. And if I was heading out duck hunting, I would not hesitate to grab this shotgun. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope it was informative. Remember, whether you're in the field or in life, you're only gonna hit those shots you're laser focused on. So live target focused. See ya.